What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here, and welcome to our daily show where we discuss the fourth stimulus check update, the two new upcoming packages, the stimulus package, the American Families Plan, and the physical infrastructure plan known as the American Jobs Plan, as well as what's going on in the world today. I have seen your comments regarding where is my tax return? Yeah, and my mom just told me today that she finally got her tax return, her tax refund today, and she filed all the way back in February. In fact, the IRS is dealing with multiple different problems. They're dealing with a employee shortage from the pandemic. The IRS has had a freeze on their income or the amount of funding from the government for several years now, and they haven't been able to hire new people because of that. In addition to dealing with the pandemic and having to send out 3 different stimulus checks as well, and the IRS is reportedly holding 30 million tax returns for manual processing that they will have to go through one by one manually by a human employee. USA Today reports that these delays are caused by changes in the tax code, limited resources, outdated IT systems, and a backlog of unprocessed 2019 paper tax returns. In a typical year, the IRS sends out most refunds in 21 days or less of the electronic filing. This year, however, the average wait is 6 to 8 weeks. In addition to this, the IRS is holding an additional 3 million paper returns from 2019 and 2020, and an even more additional 7 million individual tax returns that have processing errors or fraud identification issues. So yeah, let me know down below in the comments if you're still waiting on a tax refund and when you processed your tax return, as it seems like the average wait is at least 2 months. Although I have seen some people that said they got it relatively quickly, but then I'm seeing a lot of reports saying, Jimmy, I'm still waiting on my tax return. I've been waiting forever. Where is my tax refund? Now remember, there's the Get My Payment tool for the IRS stimulus checks or the Treasury stimulus checks or the government stimulus checks. But there's also the IRS Get My Payment tool and the Get My Refund tool. They have a tool you can check to see where the status of your refund is as well, similar to how you would look for where the status of your stimulus check is. So all you need to do is go to Google and type in IRS Get My Refund tool or IRS Get My Refund, and the first result should be the refund tool where you can go in, put your information in, and hopefully get information on the status of your refund. Of course, well, you know how these tools are, so sometimes they simply just don't work, aka our government, just another product. In the last video, I was laughing so hard about some of your guys' comments. We talked about that letter that's going out right now for the third stimulus check, and is basically saying, oh yeah, you should receive your stimulus check within 7 days of this letter. And people are like, we got our third stimulus check like a month ago, and it's just a classic scenario case of our government trying to do things at scale for millions and millions and millions of people, and it never seems to go according to plan, and it always seems to have multiple delays. I know there are still some of you that haven't received your third stimulus check yet, and well, there's not really a lot of information out right now. I think over 95% of the stimulus checks have been sent out. It's possible it's still in the mail. Really, the best location to get information at this point is the IRS Get My Payment tool. See if it has any information for you. If it says status unavailable or unknown, it might be that you're just putting your address in wrong. You may need to put it in all capital letters, or you may need to spell it slightly differently. Like if you're on a street, you might need to spell out the word street or try it as an abbreviation. The easiest way to do this is to go and get your most recent letter from the IRS and see how they formatted your address and spell it exactly the same with exactly the same capitalization as that, or try all capitals. Those couple tricks helped out thousands of our viewers once we learned those tricks, which was at this point several weeks ago. But that'll be good to know also for the upcoming fourth stimulus check as well, when the Get My Payment tool comes back around for that one as well. Now, in addition to this, the IRS is also dealing with another stimulus item, and that is the refund for unemployed people of $10,200 of income from 2020. This was passed from the third stimulus check package, and it's retroactive, and it basically means that you don't have to pay taxes on the first $10,200 of unemployment income that you had last year if you were unemployed. So basically, it reduces your taxable income by $10,200, aka you don't have to pay taxes on the first $10,200 of unemployment income. As you can see here, the IRS is processing these and starting refunds for this starting in May, which is now. This is for people that were actually ahead of the game, filed their tax returns somewhat early or very early, and it was before they passed the third stimulus check package. So now they passed the third stimulus check package and they had that retroactive provision or clause in there. This is just one of the many things. We talk about all these different stimulus items and stimulus programs. This was one of the stimulus programs. It was literally added in the day they passed it in the Senate, and was one of those like, wow, that's a really awesome program. And if you were unemployed last year, the average person that was unemployed last year received about $16,000 in unemployment benefits, and your first $10,200 of that is now not taxable. You don't have to pay tax on it. So if you already filed a tax return, you already paid tax on it and you claimed it on your tax return. However, now the IRS is starting in May. They're going back and retroactively going to give you a refund for that money. They're basically going to go and automatically amend your tax return to reduce your income by that up to $10,200, which means for the average person, you will get an additional $1,000 tax refund back in your pocket, or stimulus money back in your pocket. This is from the third stimulus check package. Okay, this is a stimulus clause. It was literally in the stimulus package. So be on the lookout for an extra $1,000 refund. The IRS has said they're going to start amending those in May, but that they're likely going to go on into into June as well. So I will keep you updated on that as well. Let me know when or if you receive your $10,200 unemployment refund, whether you get it via direct deposit or paper check in the mail. Let us know in the comments as soon as you receive that. That'll help out our viewers, our family here of viewers, know when that people are starting to get them. I haven't seen any reports yet of anybody getting it just yet, but hopefully they have started the process. In addition to that, the IRS is also setting up a brand new program to pay out the monthly stimulus checks known as the child tax credits. That was, again, another stimulus item that was passed in the third stimulus check package. It was passed in that stimulus package, and now it has this new provision that basically has increased the child tax credits to $3,000 for children that are ages 6 through 17 this year, and $3,600 for children that are under the age of 6 this year. The IRS is setting up a brand new program and an IRS portal and a website portal where you will be able to log in starting hopefully in July as they're building this and working on all these other additional things, right? And you will probably be able to input your information in there. Like if you had a new baby this year, your baby will qualify for the $3,600. And you'll have to, if you didn't claim them on a tax return already and let the IRS know about them, then you'll be able to claim them through the IRS portal. Also, the IRS is saying that you need to have your tax returns in by May 17th, which is about less than 2 weeks from now, to claim these child tax credits if the IRS needs you to file a tax return for that. So it's a little bit of a gray area, but if you're trying to still file your tax return because the deadline has been pushed back a month, try to get that in before May 17th. Just try to get it in as soon as possible so it won't delay your monthly stimulus checks from this child tax credit program. Okay, the IRS is going to start paying out $250 to $300 per month from this program, and the additional half of the year, the first half of this year that you didn't get payments for, they're going to give you on this year's tax return when you get your refund basically next year around March or April. So you get an extra $1,500 to $1,800 then as well. There's also another provision from this child tax credit that we haven't really talked about much here on this channel. Two things. One kind of negative is that if your child turns 18 this year before December 31st, the IRS is just going to consider them age 18 and you don't really qualify for the child tax credits. Okay. But you will qualify for a one time tax credit of $500. That's kind of the bad news if you have a child that's literally 17 turning 18 this year. The good news is if you have a child that's between ages 19 and 24 and they are a full-time college student, you will actually get a $500 one-time payment for them. So if they're between 19 and 24, full-time college student, you will receive a child tax credit for them of $500. So, and again, that will go to the person who claims them as a dependent, just like all of these child tax credits and child stimulus payments will. They go to the person who claims them as a dependent, the adult. Now, this is separate from the fourth stimulus check package or fourth stimulus check. Okay, there's several different proposals going on right now. One, the child tax credits and the adult tax credits. There's an adult tax credit as well. It's not just for children. There's a link down below in the description of this video. You can watch that after this video ends if you want to check out the adult tax credits. There's a whole video on that. Okay, so you can get up to $6,600 for an adult tax credit, up to $3,600 per year for children. But set those aside. Those are tax credits, even though the stimulus check is technically a tax credit. We're going to push those aside. Those are separate. Okay, the stimulus checks are in addition to that. Okay, the easiest way to think about if you're probably going to get the fourth stimulus check when it's negotiated on and passed is, did you get the previous stimulus checks? If you got stimulus check 1, 2, and 3, then you'll probably get stimulus check number 4. The real question is, how much will it be? And that is what they have started negotiating on now. You know, we have this new petition for, there's over 2.1 million people have signed it from. I have a video on that, and you can check that out. I'll link that to you down below in the description as well. But there's a video that I did on it, but there's a petition that has over 2.1 million signatures pushing to have a $2,000 monthly recurring stimulus check. That is exactly the same as the bill that has already been introduced in the Senate, co-authored by Senators Ed Markey and Elizabeth Warren, that want $2,000 monthly stimulus checks to go until the pandemic is over. If you want to tweet somebody, email somebody, contact somebody, start with Senator Ed Markey and Elizabeth Warren, who have been some of the most vocal advocates for a fourth stimulus check, along with Senator Bernie Sanders and Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer. Of course, you can tweet on Twitter or email or contact the White House, President Biden as well, as it's very likely the Democrats are going to pass this next package and a fourth stimulus check, if included in there, completely on their own through the reconciliation package, which means the Democrats can pass this on their own, which means that they only need to negotiate amongst themselves and don't need Republican support to pass the next package. This petition is exactly for the same thing as the Senate bill for $2,000 monthly stimulus checks that would go until the pandemic is declared over by the government, which would probably be at least 6 months or 6 payments of $2,000 per month or $12,000 per individual. Now, that's different than the child tax credits and the adult tax credits, okay? Those are already passed. They're trying to increase the child tax credit for more than just 1 year. It's only passed the increase of $3,000 to $3,600 for the year 2021, this year. They're probably going to increase that to at least the year 2025, so it would mean 4 more years of monthly stimulus checks in the next package. But that's just for children. The fourth stimulus check would be for everybody. I get a lot of people confused on that, saying the fourth stimulus check's only going to be just for children. That's a separate issue. It's a separate stimulus provision, and it's already passed from the third stimulus check package, but it's for 1 year. They want to increase it to 2025 in this next package. That's one of the things on the table for this next package. But the Democrats also want a fourth stimulus check in there, and almost 100 Democrats want a monthly stimulus check to be in there as well. So I'll keep you up to date on all these different items. Now, the other thing that people are worried about right now is inflation. As we're seeing the prices of gas and food and different items go up somewhat dramatically in some areas, and what will happen with that in the future. Well, here is the White House economics chair advisor regarding inflation and what to expect in the future.
And joining us now, Cecilia Rouse, chair of the President's Council of Economic Advisors. Ms. Rouse, let's start by putting President Biden's plans in historical context. Adjusting for inflation, the programs passed during the New Deal cost $856 billion.
By the way, if you watched my video from, I think it was yesterday, where we went over the history of stimulus packages and how Social Security was increased and how unemployment was increased, that was a very good video. I'll link you to that at the end of this video if you haven't watched it yet. Very good video. You know about the New Deal. The New Deal was created back in the 1930s and was really the first stimulus package and created the Social Security program and the unemployment program. It's good to know that, huh?
$856 billion. Recovery from the Great Recession in 2009 cost $1.8 trillion. But in just over 100 days, President Biden has proposed more than $6 trillion in new spending. Ms. Rouse, you really want to spend more than 6 times what the nation spent to get us out of the Great Depression in the 1930s?
Well, thank you, Chris. Let's be clear. The first part of what President Biden was spending is the American Rescue Plan. We're in an economic recession caused by a pandemic, and that was critical support which went to families and businesses to help them get to the other side of the pandemic. And even more important, it provided the funding for an effective and comprehensive vaccination rollout. It's because of those shots in the arms, it's because of the support that families and businesses have had that we've started to see our economy come back. Last week's numbers suggest our growth in the first quarter increased by about 6%. We see that unemployment insurance claims are coming down. So the first tranche of that was to get us to the other side of the pandemic. The other two parts are about investing in our future. To put the spending in context is in the last 40 years, we've been disinvesting from our economy. And so what these plans do is we put money into the foundations of growth. Those are infrastructure, research and development and innovation, education, because we know human capital is so important. And yes, the support that families need in order to be able to go to work, because allowing workers to go to work, increasing our labor supply, is also critically important for sustaining our economy and ensuring we remain the most competitive economy in the world.
But you take my point. It's 6 times what we spent in the New Deal. It's 3 times we spent for the Great Recession. And you point out where the economy is right now. I want to take a look at that because the economy is doing pretty well. Let's put up the numbers. GDP in the first quarter rose as...
Now, that was from Fox News, which is a typically Republican news station. So just to be fair, the $6 trillion, and again, not looking at this from a Republican or a Democrat side, but just giving you guys kind of the facts here. That $6 trillion is if they pass the infrastructure package and the American Rescue Package and counting President Biden's first stimulus package, which was $1.9 trillion. For comparison purpose, former President Donald Trump passed 5 stimulus packages. His first one alone, the CARES Act, was $2.2 to $2.3 trillion. So you notice they coincidentally didn't mention all the packages that former President Donald Trump passed. But I'd have to add it up. But I think that he was near $4 trillion if I'm just doing some math in my head. Maybe I'll go back and add it up. But it was $2.2 to $2.3 trillion for the CARES Act. The one in December that had the second stimulus check package was just under $1 trillion. And then he had 3 other packages that didn't have stimulus checks in there, but had money for vaccines and money for the Paycheck Protection Program and various other different things. I'll link you to those videos here in a minute. You should watch them because they're very educational and you'll actually learn a lot if you haven't watched them yet. But if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below and join our family of subscribers so you don't miss out on new updates on the new upcoming round of stimulus, the possible 4th stimulus check package, Social Security increases, Medicare expansion and increases, as well as all the different things. They're talking about 2 years of free college, 2 years of preschool, student loan debt forgiveness, and more. We cover it all here on the channel. Don't miss an episode because new videos come out at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., 8 p.m. and 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we discuss different stimulus items in different videos. You can click this top video here to sign the petition that has over 2 million signatures for the $2,000 per month stimulus checks. This video over here is about the history of all the packages passed, the unemployment packages, Trump's packages, the New Deal, how Social Security was created. There's a lot of good information in there. If you're interested in that, you'll learn a lot. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.